joining me now to discuss where the investigation stands right now, because the DOJ's gotten involved and the local Minneapolis police are involved, is Minnesota House of Representatives Steve Drazkowski. Steve, thank you so much for joining Real America. How are you today, sir?
Doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me.
So when I called you last night, we discussed this. I wanted to know what's going on in the state capitol, because this is happening in your district, in your backyard. What was your feeling after you've seen these videos by Project Veritas? Hopefully you've seen some evidence other than just their reporting, now that 2 investigations are underway, and you then hear from the Congresswoman say, Republicans are doing this, it's not happening, it's fake.
Well, it's quite the opposite of that, Dan. Actually, I became involved when people from the Somali community called me back in January of this year, and they were aware of some of the other campaign finance fraud allegations that turned into convictions against Ilhan Omar here in Minnesota over the last couple of years, because I filed those complaints, and she ended up having to pay the money all back. So when they heard about that and saw that on TV, they gave me a call then in January and called me. So I came out and met with them, and they were very concerned about what Ilhan Omar was doing to their community, shared with me very concrete examples of how the pay for ballots scheme started in the 2018 election, and very likely some of the 2016 election as well, but used the same number. $200 per vote was a number that was coming. I was shocked and I was skeptical. But as we went forward, I saw more and more evidence as we got closer to this election, this primary election that just passed in Minnesota here. It was on August 11th. And so I heard about in Minneapolis a local campaign for a local city council race, complaining about people that her volunteer was taking to the polls, and the people that the volunteer was taking to the polls, the Somali people, were saying, where is our $200 before they even got to the polls? Of course, this person who was this candidate says, we're not participating in that, and turn around and take those people back. So I heard that. I actually heard about the video, the ballot harvesting video that came out before the one that you played, Dan, which is the other of the 2 videos. And I called Project Veritas because all the things were coming true that I was being told about 2018. So I called Project Veritas, and we met with these folks, and I actually saw the video at that point before Project Veritas got the video. And we're talking about the ballot harvesting video. I saw it, and it was shared with me and Project Veritas at the same time. This was back in July of this year, again, weeks before the August 11th election.
So to review here, Assemblyman, I want to go over this. We have ballot harvesting, we have paying for votes, and we have them literally just changing the votes. I've heard of some. I even heard, I believe, where they will take elderly folks or Somali refugees who don't speak English well or at all, and walk them in and not direct them to, but even stand next to them and help them, or even check the name of the person they want to vote. So the person's not even casting their own vote.
Yes, we've heard of that. We've heard of that in the polling place numerous times from people in the Somali community. There are some very good people, many very good people in the Somali community. They love our country. They want this country to be clean and honest, and they want to get rid of the corruption in their community. And they have Ilhan Omar fighting in the other direction. Dan, Representative Omar and her affiliated campaigns in Minneapolis and St. Paul are using the elderly Somali people, treating them like chattel in order to extract votes from them. That's what is going on. But back to your question, in the polling place, another example, I didn't see it come out on the Project Veritas videos, but there also is reports of people having whiteout in the polling place and whiting out ballots. So there's a bunch of stuff that's going on there, and it's all in order to extract votes. Representative Omar has bragged about how many ballots or how many votes that she has gotten more than anywhere else in the country. Some of those precincts, 100% voter turnout. Now we know why.
Wow. Yeah, wow. There's never 100% voter turnout anywhere.
No.
And that's very unfortunate. I don't think enough Americans take voting seriously enough. I mean, we look how many come out in a presidential election. I believe it floats every 4 years, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, in the mid-20s, right? So 328 million people and only 100 and some million vote every 4 years for a president. So there's no way that 100% of the voters in a district are coming out and voting for her. And what's really unfortunate, you have these refugees who come from a country, I would assume, because most third world countries, their voting systems are so damn corrupt, they never get a fair shake. And so they come here looking for freedom, looking to have a voice and have that one vote, because every vote counts. And then to have this happen, it's disgusting and despicable to the American dream. Now, I'm going to put my journalist hat on here and do what other journalists on our networks don't do when they have on left-leaning people. You're a Republican. Omar's made these claims. I'm going to ask you on the record. It's live TV. Here we go. Do you or Republicans have anything to do with making these false claims up? Or has this been through evidence? And you've explained why the evidence, but I just want to get it on the record. Do you guys making this up? Have you gone out and tried to fabricate this whole story?
Absolutely not, Dan. As I mentioned, this story came to me.
Gotcha.
And
just want to get that on the record for you, Steve.
These folks want to clean up their community. Representative Omar is attempting to bring third world corruption here to the U.S. Her dad and her grandfather both worked for the corrupt regime of Syed Barre in Somalia, and there they rule over people. I want the Somali people in Minnesota and Minneapolis to know Representative Omar is not your king or queen. She works for you.
Yeah. Let's remind them they're Americans
boss.
Now. They're not Somali anymore.
Absolutely.
They're Americans. This is where I get tired of the labels and the boxes. They're Americans. Their vote matters, and what she's doing is illegal. Even if she doesn't know about it, if she's just directing people and saying, do whatever you got to do to try and remove herself from guilt, you've heard the reports. You know it's happening within your outfit, your campaign. You should speak out and stop it. So, Steve, they're giving me the hard rap, but I'm going to throw this out there to the other lamestream media folks. CNN, Fox, MSNBC, New York Times, all of you out there, call Steve Drazkowski, put him on television, show the video from Project Veritas. Why won't you talk about ballot harvesting and voter fraud? Just yesterday, all the networks are saying it doesn't exist. The White House is pushing a false narrative. Here you have a guy, there's evidence, there's investigations. Steve, get out there, get on the mainstream media, and keep pushing this so Americans realize that their votes aren't counting in certain states around this country. People are defrauding them. We've got to get this message out. Steve, thank you so much for joining Real America.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, when we come back, since the debate on Tuesday, the mainstream media has continued their lies and their narrative that our president has never condemned white hate groups. Even though just yesterday, right here on this show, we showed you a clip of over 20 times the president has done just that. Our good friend, Stephen Davis, a.k.a. MAGA Hulk, will join Real America to break down facts versus fiction. Don't go away.